Hit record. Okay, good morning. We're talking about social media this week. So Monday, I gave you kind of like an intro to things to start thinking about, do's and don'ts. I gave you a very short list. I have a longer list today, and now I can't find it. Anyways, hopefully I put it all in here. And then Becky posted something about coming up with your avatar, which is really, really awesome, because this is what we're doing here essentially is, I mean, this is all marketing, right? And we want to be marketing to the right person. Like if some dude from Uganda likes every single one of your posts, that does not help you, right? So, and he gets all his, 90 friends to like your stuff too. That's like a lot of likes, but that doesn't help. So you want to really hone in on your target market on social media and speak to those people. So go through that. It's posted in the Diamonds page, and go through that and fill it out. I'm actually really excited to do it too. And it'll really help you kind of, because we'll talk about this too in this, but you really want to know who you're talking to. All right, let's see if my thing works. All right, cowboys, cowgirls, farmers. Okay, so we need to think of ourselves as farmers. Farmers love their land. They're there all the time. They nurture, they care, they plant seeds, they care some more, they feed, they sun, they do all this stuff, and then they get their harvest months and months later. So don't expect you to put out one post about Beachbody or one post about working out, and all of a sudden you're going to have 90 people show up and say, hey, I want to buy a challenge pack. I want to be a coach on your team. Although that happens once in a great, great while, but not very often. So be patient. Sow your seeds, plant them every single day. And this is why we're doing reach outs. This is why we're doing jabs every day, because the more seeds you plant, the more people are thinking about you. And when they're ready, they're going to come to you. Also, show up every day and be consistent, because if you take time off, people that are watching that journey that you have, that are, those little seedlings that you've planted that are like, oh, okay, I'm ready to sprout. And then they're like, wait a minute, where are they? I'm not sure I can trust them. Well, there's like 200,000 other Beachbody coaches that I can go follow instead. So just make sure you're being consistent and you are showing up. Even if it's one post a day, I know that excuse me, we all go through really rough stuff, and sometimes you just don't even know what to post because you don't want to be negative, but show something about how you're trying to get out of your sad situation, your hard situation. Just something, even if you're just posting a quote that's helping you, do something and show up every day. Okay, so your social media is basically like your own little reality TV show. It's a sneak peek into your life. Obviously, you don't want to give everybody every single detail. What's the word? Modest. But at the same time, you really want people to get to know you. Like the Kardashians. I hate them. But at the same time, they're very good at, Brigitte said this a long time ago, but they're very good at branding themselves, and they stay very true to themselves. They're not like, oh, well, the mass doesn't like this, so we're not going to do that anymore. They do their thing, and you kind of love them or hate them, and they kind of bear it all. So, but not all, it's still TV. So it's like the PG version, right? Okay. So the highlight reel, like I said, it's a sneak peek. It's not everything, but you don't want to give them the traditional highlight reel that, say most people do on Facebook, like, oh, look at all these smiling pictures of all my kids and me and my husband. Come to find out, like, when you talk to them, they're like, oh yeah, we're, you know, getting a divorce. And you're like, what? You guys look so happy. So don't make your life out to be this amazing, beautiful thing when in reality it's not, because nobody has that life. Talk about the good things, talk about the bad things, talk about the ugly things. And we'll talk a little bit more about this, but spin them in a positive way. Okay. So share it all. I have some posting ideas and schedules that I'll share later in the page, but if you have an hour at the beginning of every month and you can gently jot down or pencil in things into a blank calendar, like I have one right here, if you can see it. It's just a blank calendar. You can just literally pencil in things that you're going to talk about every day. And you can, because like on a reality TV show, they obviously plan out their stuff fairly strategically. So it's the same kind of thing for us. Like we have certain things that we want to talk about, especially, our challenge groups and that kind of stuff. So have an idea of what you're doing beforehand so that you're giving out enough information of everything, as opposed to just saying like, oh, if like, the Kardashians take pictures all the time, like instead of just showing them doing all these photo shoots, like you see a little bit of everything. So same kind of thing. So that way you're not just posting Beachbody stuff. You're not just posting about your kids. You're mixing things up. And then the last thing is, like, you really need to figure out your story. And that's before Beachbody, right now in the middle of your journey with Beachbody, and what you want for your future. So let's talk about that. Like I said, past, present, and future. Who were you before you found Beachbody? What did you feel like? What was it like for you to wake up every morning? Was it miserable? Is that why you looked for something else? Or was it like a ho-hum, no big deal? Or was it, were you dealing with major depression? Were you dealing with, some sort of physical ailment? What was it? What did it feel like? And write that down so that you can visualize that all over again. And then how has that changed for you now? Or how are you working on changing that? Or even little things, even if you just started your journey, you can still talk about how you've changed. Even if it's just, some people, the fact that they've stepped on a scale is major, or the fact that they've stuck a one workout video into the DVD player is major. And if that's your thing, then talk about that. And then what do you want for your future? What do you want your future to look like? Tell that story on social media. You're working towards blah, blah, blah. I mean, obviously, if you're, best friends with your boss on Facebook and you're like, I'm working towards leaving this crap hole job, you can't say that. But you understand what I'm saying. Like, what do you see in your future, and how is Beachbody helping you get there? Even if it has nothing to do with money or a job. One of the biggest things for me that I've learned through Beachbody is taking my faults, and instead of running away from them or getting mad when somebody brings something up, totally owning them and saying, how can I make this better? And figuring it out and going and researching and finding a different system, or, starting a new habit. And I have 21-day charts. My family thinks I'm crazy, but I'm all about sticker charts. And I was 35 years old and I started making my bed, or 34, with a sticker chart, because it bugged me, and just stupid stuff like that. But that's, now I make my bed every day. That was a major difference. And that's all because I started doing personal development, and because I surrounded myself with more positive people that said it's okay that you're not perfect. So that's a big thing. Give me just a second, I have to check on my phone. What, Lenny? Are you okay? Okay, only one more. Only one, that's all I want. Okay, I may have just given my child 3 fruit strips to keep him quiet. Okay, so then also, what makes you different? Because, like you said, there's a ton of Beachbody coaches out there. There's a ton of other fitness people. So you need to kind of figure out what makes you you and stay true to that. Be you, like be proud of who you are. And you want to attract people that are like you. You don't want to attract people that are like other people, because even if they buy a challenge pack from you, you're going to have a hard time relating down the line. So just stick true to you. Speak to who you were before you found Beachbody. And again, this is talking about, this is going back to what Becky posted about, like finding that avatar, like who are you speaking to? A big part of that is going to be who you were before you found Beachbody. You know, you could be a stay-at-home mom. You could be a person in a corporate job that like is ready to shoot yourself because you hate it. You could be anything, whatever you were, that's the person you want to be talking to. I always like doing this with my new coaches. Describe yourself in 5 hashtags, or think of 5 passions that you have, hobbies, whatever, something like that. So like for me, my husband's a chef. So one of my hashtags is chef's wife or chef wife. And I've found some really interesting people that way. But people that, you know, that have a chef husband and kind of know the ins and outs of that world, because it's very different than a normal stay-at-home mom. Like my husband works very strange hours. And so like he helps me in the morning with, you know, like getting ready for school, and he takes the girls, but then usually he goes to work right then, and then he doesn't come home till 11:30 or midnight. A lot of people don't like relate to that. So anyways, that's one of my things. I also love to bake. I love to cook, but I'm gluten-free. I'm paleo. And I know a lot about autoimmune disorders. So that's like another kind of like a mini passion of mine. Anyway, so think about, you know, like, are you a horse person? Are you a dog person? Are you a cat person? Are you, you know, what are you? Like, what do you love? And talk about that. Because those are going to be other ways that you connect with people. You're not always going to connect with people on fitness. I totally misspelled Beachbody. That's awesome. Anyways. But yeah, you don't want to just like hashtag fitness, running, because you're not always going to find people that need to start a journey that are looking for those hashtags. So, anyways, that's part of sharing your story, like telling who you are. So then I wrote breadcrumbing, and that's like not sitting there and writing this, you know, super long post about everything in your life. It's like talking about little bits and pieces, throwing little things in here and there. Like for me, and I mean, it's a little bit different right now. My husband's not off work, but he just started back this week. But normally he's gone all the time. So like, if he randomly takes a Thursday off and we go out to lunch, then I'll just say like, hey, we're so excited, Dad can be here for lunch, kind of thing, and like post a picture of it. You know, and then hashtag chef life, like chefs worked, you know, however many hours or something along those lines. So that's like a little tiny piece into my story. And then, you know, whatever it may be, but talk a little bit about it. Don't like give this huge long thing. And that's another thing you can put on your schedule, or like write out, you know, your 5 hashtags Monday through Friday. Like, this is something I'm going to breadcrumb about today, and so on and so forth.
Krista, can you just talk a little bit about like hashtags work? Because I'm new to it. I've been trying to use them, but like how, like,
okay, so
how do they work?
There's a few different things. So first of all, like, I mostly use hashtags just to, I love them to continue telling a story without putting it in the text.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like if you post like a picture of your kid wearing like one polka dot sock, one striped sock that are like 2 totally different colors and different sizes, and a funny dress, and then a hat, sunglasses and like wild jewelry or something like that, and you just say like hashtag she dressed herself. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to say anything, that says enough. So that would be one way you can use a hashtag. And that's what I do most of the time. But then they're also used to find things. So like you can type in at the top of Facebook, like hashtag chef's wife or chef wife, and find anybody that ever hashtagged that. Or you can hashtag, Fit Moms Club. And you'll see a lot of my posts, but, or, whatever it may be, or like women who lift, or farm life, like people that are farmers, and whatever it may be. Like you can type that in and find all these people on Facebook. But then at the same time, they're also used on Instagram for picture searching very specifically. And that's a whole different training. But I'm personally not an Instagram person. Some people love it. Some people hate it. It's not for me. So I never got into that whole hashtagging thing. But if you notice people that have like a whole ton of hashtags underneath the post, if you check at the top of their post, it'll usually say from Instagram or posted on Instagram or something. And that's why they have like 100 hashtags.
Okay.
So you use them how you want, but and if you like you can hashtag your kids' names so that when you type that hashtag in, you can find all of your kids' pictures, that kind of stuff.
So then whenever you'll hashtag it, like you said with your Fit Moms Club, and mostly do you do it from Facebook, and then all those are in a specific place that you can go find it?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't always hashtag my hashtags. You know what I mean? Like I do them sporadically. Hang on really.
So they don't necessarily go to a specific place, but when you're searching in Facebook, you can just type in the hashtag like Fit Moms Club, and then anyone who has ever used that hashtag in Facebook, it'll bring up those posts.
Okay.
That's how it works. In Facebook though, people don't like if you have 20 hashtags in your post, it kind of annoys most people.
Well, and like so say I wanted to kind of create my own hashtag, right?
Uh-huh.
And then because like if you search for it, it says not found. So then I want to create that. So so then I just start using that hashtag, and then if I start putting it in, then my posts will. So that if you search for them, if somebody goes and searches for them, then they'll see my
exactly. Yes.
Come up. Okay.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Okay, thank you.
Now I want to know what your hashtag is. That sounds fun.
Well, I'm trying to come up with one, but it's like last night I'm thinking like I should probably know how to use them first. Because I don't have Twitter and like even like Krista said, I only have enough time for Facebook. Like that's if I start doing Instagram and everything, it's very overwhelming. My cousin just started me on Snapchat not that long ago, and that's even like overwhelming. So it's like I'm just working on one thing at a time.
And that's totally fine. I had my team basically hashtag themselves, and we had a competition to see who could come up with the most hashtags that describes themselves. Like maybe it would be hashtag I like green M&Ms, hashtag autoimmune disease, hashtag fit moms, stuff like that. That was really fun just because it gets you out of your comfort zone and it kind of helps you figure out more of who you are.
Okay.
So just because you come up with 5 hashtags doesn't mean you need to use those.
Right, okay.
It's just descriptors of who you are.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. Like, we're having a really hard time.
That's okay. We were having a conversation when you left.
Perfect.
We kept it going.
Yeah. So, like she said, you can tell when something's posted from Instagram and it's like a lot of hashtags. I don't like using that many, but I do like finishing my story in hashtags. Because it's a way you can do it without using complete sentences and making it a really long paragraph. Oh,
Okay.
anyway. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, so couple just like random things. Public versus private. I guess I forgot to tell Brittany this the other day because I see all of her stuff. But if you have a private account, then you're kind of missing out on a whole ton of people. So let's say you post something really rad and somebody likes it or comments on it, and you're private, then anybody that sees what they comment on, they're not going to see your stuff. So for me, like my thing's public. So like I get random people liking my stuff and commenting just because they see a friend of theirs comment. And then a friend of theirs can see that. And so it's like you're reaching these people that you never knew before and maybe you never would know. So I think it's really, really important to switch your profile to a public profile. If you have a hard time with that, hi. Yeah. My yogurt, yum. If you have a hard time with that, I understand with the kids and everything, there are a few things you can do. You can put all of your children's photos into albums and make the albums private. You're killing me, baby. Yes. Yes, go watch Mickey Mouse. It's on. You have a snack and you have Mickey. What could be better? Honestly, what could be better? Just a glass of wine with Mickey. Okay. So you can put all of your kids' pictures into an album and make the album or specific albums private. You can only post on a public page, like a like page, and use a different name, which I kind of don't recommend, but you could do that, or just make a new Facebook account and use that. But if you already have a bunch of friends, then it's best to just turn it public. What? Okay, let me see if I can put something else on for him. Obviously, Mickey Mouse is not doing the trick right now.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, so then profile picture. I want to talk about that a little bit. So many people use, and I mean, I've done it too, family picture or a picture with your kids or a picture of you and a girlfriend from like a fun night out or whatever. Give me 1 second.
So I did back-to-back workouts.
Nice.
I did back and buys and then shoulders. So my arms were like burning.
Oh, good.
But I couldn't work out yesterday.
I'm taking today off. I'm giving myself permission to take today off. You guys, I went to sleep last night at 6:30. Like, my son was reading to me. We had dinner early, so my son was reading to me. I totally fell asleep. So then I went up to bed at 7 o'clock, and I was like hobbling into bed, you guys. I was just so exhausted. I slept until 5 this morning. My husband got the kids all to bed, and then I got up at 5, got my kids all off to school, and then I went back to sleep at 9 and got up at 10:30.
Nice.
That sounds dreamy.
Yesterday, Maddox woke up at 2 a.m.
Oh,
Like, that was like starting, like, he didn't.
Your son got up.
Yeah. Maddox was up at 2 and didn't go back to sleep until like 6:30.
Oh my gosh.
Jeff was out of town. So I did it all.
Yeah.
And then he slept for like an hour or so and then was up. And I was like, my head was, you know, when you're so tired where you're just like, I can't function.
That was me last night. That's why I was like, I'm just going to go to bed. I can't do anything.
Yeah. He went to sleep at like 2:30 and I had so much work to do. And I was like, I can't even function. Like, I like felt, you know, when you get so tired, you feel sick. I was like, I feel so sick. And so I just slept. And then my husband got home last night and I was like, I'm sleeping in tomorrow. So, and then I slept in today until like 9:30. But it was hard for me to go to sleep last night because I took a nap.
Yeah.
But
ever have that problem of my husband, you guys, he like wakes up in the middle of the night and he'll be up for like 2 hours and he's like, yeah, I couldn't sleep last night. I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with you. I could sleep forever. Like, really. I could just sleep forever.
I can't. My husband gets up with Maddox every morning at 7 and he just like pops out of bed and goes and gets him, and I'm just like a zombie for like an hour to wake up.
My husband's up at between 4:30 and 4:45. Like, yeah.
I can't do it.
I do blame my autoimmune disease though. I'm like, okay, I have an excuse. So
So
that's actually, I posted about it too. And I use the hashtag I live on caffeine. So just because I could hashtag it.
I only have 8 minutes left. Like, I don't know what happened to my count. It might have. Okay, I'm so sorry. Like, of course, my Netflix isn't streaming and whatever. Let me just finish this up and then I'll end record and then we can get back on and talk more.
You're fine.
Okay, so profile picture, you want it to be like a pretty clear picture of you being you. It can be a silly face. It can be you working out. It can be whatever, but it needs to be you. Like, when people come to your page, they need to know that's you, not have to like sit there and scroll through and be like, which one is it? And like, I just see her kids, or I just see, you know, like, people have like some really random stuff on their profile pictures. And I'm like, who is that? Like flags and stuff. But so find a good picture of your face and post it there. Okay, Facebook affinity. There is a way to make your posts get seen more and more and more. And it is basically all like, the more love you show, the more love you're going to get. So if you are liking a bunch of pictures, nothing's going to happen really. Maybe a little bit. But if you're commenting on people's stuff constantly and messaging people like we should be anyways, then all of those, our stuff is going to go into all of these people's feeds. And so then they're going to comment on our stuff, and then our affinity is going to go up. So if you need a day off of Beachbody, just go on Facebook and scroll and start commenting. If you're, you know, like in your little cracks of your day, that's when I do my Facebook scrolling. And that's technically work for me because I'm working on my affinity. So I know I had more stuff to say about that, and I just don't, like I said, I don't know where my notes are. They were right here.
That's okay.
Anything else to say about that?
It's basically the more you interact with other people, the higher you are going to be up in other people's news feeds. Like, people will actually see what you post.
Exactly. And that brings me to another point. Actually, I think it's on the next page. Maybe not. But what time you're posting, when you're posting, when you post, like, the best times for you to post are kind of a trial and error thing. You need to think about your time zone, who your target market is, what they do. Like, for example, what was I going to say? Okay, so you know how, like, if you're sitting down and like between 10 and 11 and 12 in the afternoon watching daytime TV, there's like a lot of lawyer commercials and like commercials for like things that, you know, for elders that slip and fall, like that kind of stuff. It's because they're specifically targeting people that are at home watching TV right then, not the working force. Not stay-at-home moms. Like, let's be honest. On the Disney Channel, they have more commercials for us, right? Or like, not Disney Channel, but you know what I mean. Like, that's just because they're targeting specifically moms. Or they have stuff that kids are like, Mom, I want this, I want this, I want this. And they know that kids are going to do that, as opposed to, you know, putting elderly railing on a Disney Channel commercial. It's the same kind of thing. So you have to figure out who you're marketing to, when they're going to be online, and then do some tests and like throw out a post, maybe, you know, like the same type of post, like 3 different nights at 3 different times or whatever, and see what gets the best traction. And then stick with that when you find a good one. Okay, so a few do's and don'ts. Good things to get interaction. Ask questions. True, false, yes, no questions. Like, True, false. You like to, Brittany did something about wearing shoes the other day. You like to, do you like to wear shoes to work out, or do you work out barefoot or whatever? Like, when people start posting below. True, false. You should eat breakfast before you work out, or whatever, something like that. Ask about local events, like, hey, is anybody going to this zoo thing? Like, I've heard about it. What do you think? You'll get like 100 comments on that kind of stuff. Fill in the blanks. Ask for tips. Ask for, someone's best jokes. Like, hey, I just need a laugh today. Opinions. Side-by-side comparisons. Like, which hairstyle do you think I should go for? A, B, or C? Which outfit do you like better? A, B, or C? Which shoes should I wear with this dress? A, B, or C? Like, you get that stuff that brings in constant interaction. And then you go in and you comment on every single person. Like, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, I like that one too. That's my favorite, blah, 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 whatever it is. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that one. So that you're constantly interacting. Don't ask anything that's really thought-provoking, because they're just going to move on. You're going to be like, well, shoot, like, I don't want to have to think about that. Don't get too political, because you're always going to offend somebody, and there's no point. It just brings a big debate, and it just gets messy. Don't start a debate, because again, it gets messy. Don't ask for judgment or post degrading questions or any of that kind of stuff. Like, look, keep it clean and positive, like, I love it when people do this. Like, they're like venting about someone very specific, and they just don't say their name, but you're like, wow, are they, and you're like,
yes.
Gosh, are they reading it? And you get all nervous for them.
Yes.
I have seen that. I've seen that happen.
Why?
Actually, among Beachbody coaches, I've seen that happen.
Why are you airing your dirty laundry on Facebook? Like, just call them. It's so silly to me. It's like,
those are like cryptic posts. I hate those.
So ridiculous. And then don't complain about anything, unless like it's kind of a funny complaint, or like a lot of people are going to agree with you and like have maybe a solution, like complaining about your kids, but do it in like a kind of a positive way. Don't just be like, wow, bitch session, blah 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 blah. You know what I mean? Don't post anything boring. Okay, I know, like, just like, you can make something boring not boring. Like, post your face with some information about water. Like, information about water, people most of the time don't care about that. But if you post a picture of your face in like a big gallon jug, and like it's almost gone, and you're like, oh, I drank this all today, like, and then list out the benefits, then people are going to be like, oh, okay. Don't share a ton of stuff. Like, when you go to someone's page and it's all shares, then you just get over their page and you don't look for their content, because it's all shares, and those don't get seen very often. Don't post links. Again, it's like it doesn't look interesting, so people are going to move on. And then don't ever post stock photos or product links. If somebody says, hey, what's your link for Shakeology, say, I'll PM you, and send it in a private message. Okay, it's going to kick me off. So I'm going to stop share, and then we'll talk about this in a second. We just have to go right back on. Why is it doing this? I've had a paid account forever. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because I changed my address and forgot to change it. Okay, just click back on. Yeah, buddy.